Hey guys, Marcus Davis back here with another quarantine video. Basically, where we left off last time is I was taking Rhodes and mangling them up and turning them into something new. I figured we'll stay on that theme and do something similar with drums. So I'm going to show you today how I would take a loop offline or anything and just start mangling it to see if I could create some inspiration. So what I've done is I've got a loop here, real simple loop. It's an acoustic drum set. BPM is 86, and this is what it sounds like. Nothing really special. But my hope is that I can mangle this and take this to a place that is inspiring. First thing I'd probably do with this is see if I could stretch it, play with the timing a bit. Logic's got a great tool here, Flex. So you can turn on the Flex mode, and then you've got a bunch of options down here. I'm going to try Temperphone just to kind of see what kind of wild sound I can get out of this thing. And I'm going to stretch it, double its length. So now it sounds something like this. Cool. I dig it. And again, part of the thing that I do when I do sound design is I don't overthink it. I know that as this thing evolves, it starts to turn into something else. And so I just kind of get something that feels a certain kind of way and move on to the next step and see where I land. So I kind of like this sound that we're getting here so far. What I will do is I'll probably throw an EQ on it and maybe just dull it a little bit, so we don't get that really high phasey sound, more of a muffled type sound, maybe just a little bit. Yeah, just a little darker. And yeah, we'll roll with that for now. And then probably the next thing I would probably try to do is over compress it. And the reason why I would do that is because the compression tends to turn up a lot of the grit, especially if you over compress it and you distort it. So I'm going to look for a plugin that is really good at that. CLA 76 works great. I'll go ahead and use that. And basically, if you hit the all buttons in on the Waves version of it, then it basically is the same as if they were pushing all the buttons in on the analog gear. And what that does is it overdrives the compression, and it starts to create these colors of distortion that can sometimes work out really cool, work out in your favor. So I'm going to push that and see what I get. See, when you over push it, you get distortion. The reverb on the drums start to come up a bit, and it just kind of gets blurry, which, again, we're doing sound design. We're trying to get it further away from its original state. So there's no rules, and we just kind of push it and see what we get. This is without it. Yes, sir. All right, so already with just stretching it with the Temperphone setting, adding a little EQ to dull some of the high end, and then adding extreme compression, I'm starting to get a vibe. And so I'm gonna just keep going down this road and seeing how far I can take it. Now what I'm gonna do is probably go to a reverb. Space Designer in Logic is great for this because it has some presets already set up for like drums. So I can go to warped effects, and then there's drone tones. But I'm going to go here to drum transformer, and I'm just going to pick any of these. I'm going to try Cascade. Why not? And then we'll kind of see what we got. This is what it sounds like completely wet. That's where it was. This is where it is with the Cascade. I like that, but I'm going to blend the two signals a bit. So I'm going to bring in the dry signal so we have a little bit of the original body. Without it, I dig it. So yeah, we're adding a little bit more texture, a little bit more color, and I mean, obviously this as a drum loop on its own wouldn't stand on its own. You'd have to layer it with some drums, but we'll get there. For now, we're just going to keep mangling. Matter of fact, I'm going to commit to this. One of the things that I love to do, just commit, and we're going to go. We're going to bounce this in place. We will delete. We reached the point of no return, and we are just going off of pure instinct and seeing what we end up with, right? Oh yeah, okay. So last thing I'll do to just try to push this thing to something abnormal is we'll do a little cuts, maybe reverse some stuff, and just kind of see what we get. This section here could be a cool place. We'll cut this out. We'll open this up. We'll hit reverse. Cool. So kind of cool, right? Maybe we'll grab this. Let's try this. And instead of reversing, what we'll do is we'll pull this back to here and re-stretch it and just see what we get. So I'm going to re-stretch this thing with the tempophone setting. We're stretching it again, just seeing what comes of that, how that sounds. Okay, let's listen. Why not? That's got something, man. And then just to round off the edges a bit more, I'm gonna go ahead and throw another EQ. Now I know what you're thinking. How would I use that? Well, we could use this as texture and ambience underneath another drum loop. So for instance, I have a drum machine here. You can't see it, it's right in back of you. But there's a drum machine here. I've programmed a beat that is 86 BPM. And I'm just gonna, it's a very simple beat. It's an 808 kit or just a basic kit. And I'm gonna use this beat. Let's listen. Use that beat in combination with this. So let's hit play here. There you have it. The last thing I did is I threw this one knob pumper, which basically is a quick way to sidechain something and create that pumping effect. And all it's doing is just kind of making a little bit of holes for the other drum loop to kind of come through a little bit. So with the one knob pumper and on this is what it sounds like. And again, it's just something that adds a little texture, a little vibe, puts me in the right, headed in the direction. It's something that I wouldn't have got without experimenting.